We belong in college story. We all have our own reasons on why we belong in college. The reason that I belong in college is because no matter how many times life throws me a curveball, I always find a way to make sure that I am continuing success within my academic career. My story will start off at the age of 16. I lost my best friend Jordan Cantrell at a very young age due to a freak accident, and that changed my life forever. I was so young, I didn't know how to even understand the emotions I was feeling, nonetheless, to even process the emotions I was feeling. This led me to my next chapter of life of drug addiction. I sought comfort and ease in a group of friends that were not good for me or my life, and that led to a lot of traumatic events like rape, gaslighting, sex trafficking, theft, and I have been surrounded by death since then. After about a year within the drug lifestyle, I became sick and tired of the life that I was living. I was homeless. I weighed 90 pounds. I didn't have anything to my name, no clothes, nowhere to sleep, no water, no food, no nothing. I entered a rehabilitation program. I was in that program for 11 months. I graduated, moved out on my own, and decided to travel and work on just seeing the world and meeting new people. Over the next 2 years of traveling and meeting new people, I was able to see a whole new world that I never even knew existed. I met people who experienced things I've never experienced. I met diversity, culturally, sexually, orientation wise. It opened the doors to my new passion, and my passion is psychology, the study of the human mind and behavior. Once I figured that psychology is what I wanted to pursue, I decided to apply to Spalding University 7 years after graduating high school to see if college was something that I could be successful at. I ended up enrolling into my first semester and actually got A's on my first classes. That was such a confidence booster for me, especially since I've been out of school for so long. I never felt that I was the best book smart, but after graduating high school, experiencing life, and then entering college, I realized that I had the full potential that I never knew was there. Being in college, I also have experienced a lot of hard, traumatic situations. I was a sophomore at Spalding University, and I found out that my dad had lung cancer. We were very lucky to find it when we did, because if we wouldn't have found it for a couple more weeks, he would have passed away from the disease. I spent the next year taking care of my family emotionally, mentally, and financially while my dad was out of work. And it was really, really hard on my mental state as well as on my academic side. I was really focused on making sure my family was taken care of, that I kind of neglected school. And being able to see that path and that process, I was able to find a concrete schedule that not only benefited my schooling, but also benefited my family. After a year of chemo and radiation, thankfully my dad is now in remission and he has been cancer free for over a year. I also experienced another life traumatic event while being in college. I was in a very toxic relationship that was mentally abusive, and it led to my decision on a suicide attempt. I decided to take my own life in 2016 because I was overwhelmed with life, with emotions, my relationships, work, school. The list goes on and on and on. I ended up spending 3 days on life support. Once I came out of the coma, I entered myself into a mental health facility until I could find a good combination of medication that would work with my mental illness. That led to my passion for wanting to become an actual psychologist within clinical psychology. I had become successful in school and I have a GPA above a 3.0. I live a beautiful life. In the fall, I will be applying to doctoral programs for a PsyD degree in clinical psychology with a forensic and correctional track in the fall of 2020 in hopes of attending in the fall of 2021. The reason that we belong in college is because we deserve it. We deserve to have something more for ourselves to build us a better future. A lot of people feel like you have to settle or that you're not good enough, or at least that's something that I felt upon entering college. And after learning my capabilities and what I can do, I realized that I deserve to be in college because I am worth it. I am worth it to myself to want a better life, a better education, to want to give back to the community and to make a difference. I have a life story with a lot of traumatic events that shaped me into who I am today, and my only goal is to be able to provide that back to someone else and to help change someone else's life. So, pursuing a degree in psychology is what is going to lead me to my life goals on changing the world.